Hello, it's Richard Watson, and welcome back to L'anglais the Easy Way. Today, I'm going to talk about how children learn so easily and so quickly. We talked a little bit about this last time. The reality is, kids don't learn quickly and easily. We just don't notice the years and years of them listening and struggling and trying and making mistakes. But we all did it. They accelerate the learning process because they're frustrated because they can't speak, and their brain is set for them to learn. Children have some natural advantages over adults. Everybody tells me children have super absorbent brains. It's true. Kids pick things up quickly. Kids remember things that adults can't. If you don't believe me, try a memory game with a young kid. They'll beat you every time. That's normal. Everyone knows that. Are there any other advantages that kids have that adults don't? First of all, kids will try even if they're not sure. They haven't learnt that it's bad to make mistakes. Kids are in the experience of learning. They have a drive to improve. Every human needs to learn. And so kids are driven and programmed to try even when they're not sure, because that is part of the learning process. And for all of you out there who say, yeah, but when I speak English, I always make mistakes, I can guarantee that from where you are now to the place you eventually one day want to be in English, the only path there is a path of mistakes. That is the path. All of your mistakes will take you where you want to get to. So children will try even if they don't know. Children ask questions. They don't have an image to protect, an ego to protect. And perhaps most importantly, children are fascinated by repetition. Children love repetition. Anybody who's had kids or has kids will know that kids often want the same film again and again, the same story again and again, the same game, the same book. Kids are fascinated by repetition. Now, adults are also fascinated by repetition, but not for language. We lose that. If you don't believe me, think of the game of golf. If you had to explain to someone who'd never seen it what the game of golf involved, you hit a ball into a hole. And then you do it again. And then you do it again, and you do it every Sunday for 30 years. That should be boring. Tennis is the same. You hit a ball over a net. It should be boring. It's not. We have this fascination for physical things, probably developed over thousands and hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. We love that stuff, but we do lose the fascination for language, and kids have that, which means that kids play with language in a way that we don't. That's how they get so good. That's why they learn so fast. And also, and let's be honest about this, kids have a lot of time. Kids don't have jobs. Kids don't do the dishes. Kids don't do the cooking, the shopping, etc., etc. Kids have a lot of time, and they love to learn. Fine. The bad news is adults don't have super absorbent brains. Adults don't have much time. Adults don't like asking questions when they don't know. Adults don't like trying things when they're not sure of them. So we've lost a lot of these advantages. And perhaps even worse, adults aren't fascinated by repetition of language. Adults like novel experiences. They like to make new sentences rather than to say the same one again and again. Recently, I was reading in a chess book a fantastic trainer talking about why children improve at chess so much more quickly than adults. And he said basically there are two reasons that you can detect. The first is that children love to play chess and adults love to study chess. That's the big deal. He did say that there are one type of adult chess players who do love to play. They're called grandmasters. They play, they don't study. The second reason he gave, he said that adults are different from children in the way they incorporate and learn new structures. Children will see a tactic or a strategy or something in a game, and the next game they try and do it. They want to try it, they want it to work, they're fascinated by it. They know at some level that that's how you really get good at things. Adults don't try it. Adults try to understand it. And they struggle and they strain and they fight to understand it to the point where they transform it into something they already know. Now, I see this a lot with my students who at some point will often say, so it's like the passé composé. And that's the problem. It's not the passé composé. And they're trying to fit it into their head instead of adopting it the way it is in English. So the first thing I could tell you as an adult is copy the kids. Do it like them. You don't have to tell them that you're copying them. Don't give them that power over you, but work like a kid. Copy, play with language. And I guess we could also say, are there any advantages that adults do have over kids? Do we have any advantages that we can leverage to learn faster and better? Well, generally, adults have chosen to learn. They're not in school being told they have to. We've made the choice that we want to learn something. It's supposed to be a pleasure. Enjoy that part. Recognize that it's your choice. Recognize you're doing it for your own pleasure or for your own advancement or improvement. Adults are supposed to be more motivated and more disciplined than children. It's not always the case. I can guarantee that as an English teacher. But at least in theory, adults can be disciplined. Adults are much better at managing things, much better at managing their time, much better at managing the system that they use, much better at organizing things. Is that an advantage or not? Well, that depends how much you use it and if you use it intelligently. But there really are advantages you can leverage if you want to. Again, you're an adult, you're learning on your own. You can look at yourself and see what's good for you or not. Do that every time. You decide what to learn. You decide how you learn it. You decide how you listen to this podcast and how many times. And if you do want to listen again and again, do it. If you want to read the transcription, it's there. If you want to talk about it to all your friends, don't hesitate. And I'll leave it at that and remind you to subscribe to all of our episodes, and I'll see you next time.